Welcome to today's deep dive. So, imagine trying to secure a massive fortress, right? But instead of just building one, highly secure main gate, you hand out a complicated map to every single person and just kind of hope they do not lose it.
Which is, yeah, basically a recipe for disaster.
Exactly. And that is exactly what most companies are doing when they rely on clunky VPNs for remote work. So today, we are looking at how a German logistics specialist, Stapler Center Pieckert, actually tore up those maps to solve their modern cybersecurity challenges across 7 different regional locations.
Right, and the context is really key here. I mean, back in 2018, this company, they specialize in heavy industrial machinery. Well, they migrated their operations to a private cloud.
Which was pretty standard at the time, right?
Yeah, totally standard. And they did what everyone did. They relied on legacy terminal servers and VPNs. But as their regional footprint expanded, that setup became a serious bottleneck for them.
Like, it just could not keep up with the growth.
Right. It simply lacked the scalability you need for a distributed workforce. Plus, well, it left them way too exposed to modern cyber threats. So they realized they needed a unified platform, and their IT partner, Borgware, deployed a system called UDS Corporate.
And that is developed by Virtual Cable, right?
Yes, exactly.
It makes sense they would want a modern system to replace those bottlenecks.
Yeah.
But, with so many generic global tech giants offering unified workspaces, going with UDS Corporate stands out. It feels like a very deliberate choice to go with a solution that is developed entirely within the European Union.
Oh, it was a highly deliberate choice. And it really revolves entirely around regulatory compliance. By choosing software developed inside the EU, they secure this foundational layer of legal protection.
Right, especially with all the new regulations coming out.
Exactly. We are seeing incredibly strict cybersecurity directives rolling out right now, specifically things like DRA and NIS2.
Oh yeah, those are major mandates.
They really are. These mandates require companies to rigorously prove their digital infrastructure is resilient against attacks. And a system built from the ground up inside Europe inherently aligns with those strict privacy mandates. It guarantees operational compliance that, well, generic global platforms often struggle to provide natively.
Legally sound is great, definitely. But to entirely replace a VPN across 7 different locations, the underlying infrastructure has to be technically bulletproof.
Yeah.
So how are they actually routing all this secure access?
Well, they kept the tech stack remarkably streamlined. To verify users, they integrated Microsoft Entra ID with native multi-factor authentication.
Okay, that makes sense.
And all of this runs on a virtualized infrastructure called Proxmox. But, the most important part is how they handle the actual user connections. They use RDP and HTML5 protocols.
Which means they are not just sending files back and forth.
No, not at all. Instead of sending files through a VPN tube to a remote laptop, these protocols act more like a secure live video feed. The system completely eliminates direct data transfers between the central server and the client device.
Oh, wow. So by physically separating the user from the data, you essentially eliminate the local device as an attack vector. The employee sees the work, but the files never actually sit on their machine.
Exactly. Only the screen content, literally just the visual pixels themselves, is transmitted to the user's device. No operational files or data ever move across the network to the local machine.
That is a massive shift.
It really is. By only sending pixels, they completely nullify the massive data leak vulnerabilities that traditional VPNs suffer from. I mean, if an employee's remote device is compromised or hacked, there is absolutely zero corporate data sitting on it to steal.
Because there's nothing there but a screen feed.
Right. It centralizes the IT management and keeps the data locked in the vault, while still giving the user a really smooth experience.
For anyone out there managing a distributed workforce or handling sensitive data, shifting from VPNs to centralized screen-only transmission is just a massive reduction in operational risk.
Yeah, it shrinks the attack surface dramatically.
It does, and it leaves you with a fascinating question to ponder. If transmitting mere screen pixels is this effective for security and compliance, are we approaching a future where downloading local files in the corporate world becomes entirely extinct?